So, my big picture, and we've already posted one on our socials, hopefully by the time that this one comes out, where I was extremely hard on the Michigan State seniors that left this year from the basketball team. That is a vibe that I'm going to continue with a little more positive spin. So, for my first big picture, official big picture, I wanted to talk about the series Winning Time that's out on HBO Max. First off, not paid endorsement, it is phenomenal and you need to see it. If you're a sports fan of any semblance, you need to watch that series. It is the best one that's come out probably since the Bronx is burning, I would say, so, in that caliber where it's not actually a true documentary. But with the Winning Time series, there is an event that occurs, and I don't want to go into spoiler territory for younger viewers who haven't actually seen or known about the history of the Showtime Lakers. But the series follows Dr. Jerry Buss when he acquires the Laker team, follows Magic Johnson, and how all those pieces came together to create an NBA dynasty. And within it, there is a decision that is made that changes the course of how the team functions, operates, and how they're going to go moving forward. This brings up the principle and pretty much the sole rule that I follow, which is pragmatism. Feelings, emotions are thrown in with fans because fans have emotional connections to their teams. But sports are not about your feelings, not in what we all want, which is winning. To win, you need to be brutal. You need to be a red ass, as the phrase goes. You need to be able to be an absolute bastard at times, and you cannot allow for feelings to take hold. Now, in my personal life, I'm much more of a democratic socialist type of attitude. Everything is about fairness, it's about equality, about sunshine and rainbows, worker solidarity, and all that kind of stuff. But in sports, complete opposite. The coldest individuals in the world, I will celebrate those moves to the end of time. When there is a player who's been with the franchise for 10 years, given solid service, and you cut him to make cap space in order to make a frugal move for maybe a guy who has a bad history record with he was arrested or he was known as a problem in other franchises, and you get him anyway and you replace him with a good old boy and you replace him with an absolute mean MF guy. That is the type of thing that wins titles. In the Winning Time series, this is personified best with a phenomenal an Emmy worthy performance from Michael Chiklis, formerly of The Shield, and he plays Red Auerbach, notorious godfather of the Boston Celtics dynasty that lasted decades. And in that, you see that there's this subversion because you would think, I mean, Jerry Buss, he's a very enigmatic guy, has a lot of energy, and he's trying to get the answer out of Red Auerbach. Hey, how can I make this franchise tick? How can I make them win? They're losers right now. How can I be like you? And Red Auerbach takes his cigar, his noted cigar, throws it on the floor of the forum, and tells Jerry Buss to screw off. That is the type of attitude why Red Auerbach wins. It is the reason why winning dynasties last as long as they do and win the titles they do. Think in your life, and for a lot of our viewers, it's going to be in the 2000s and on. Think of the dynasties that have occurred in your lifetime. How many of them were pals? How many of them were friends? How many of these teams, these dynasties that you see, would you describe them as good people? Tom Brady and Bill Belichick weren't pals. Tom Brady and Bruce Arians weren't pals. Clearly. LeBron James and every single one of his coaches, all 20 of them that he's ran out the floor, how many times have we heard stories about guys being absolute bastards and still winning? Michael Jordan was a guy that I know in the city of Detroit is not liked very much. But in the documentary that came out during the pandemic, it was it just showed the reason why Michael was the best. Because he didn't care. Winning is the bottom line. That's the whole reason we do what we're doing. We're not here to be friends. We're not here to be pals. We're not here for good feels. We're here for brass, for gold, for any of these titles in any forms that they're in. And Michael Jordan, and there's a point in the documentary that I think is just beautiful, where he's being introspective, and the documentarian is trying to get this answer out of him of regret that he has over the way that he treated his teammates. And he said, "Look, if you're not with me and you're not on that winning attitude, then I don't want you. I don't care. I don't give a crap about your feelings. I it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is at the end of the season, at the end of our careers, how many of those titles have we won? I don't care about how many people tell me how good of a guy I was. I care about how many people say I was the best." And that's an attitude that's missing in a lot of sports now. We talked about the NBA and its softness. There's a trend that I despise, which is everybody's pals now. You should be hating the people who you are literally competing against. It is a competition. It's sports. It's not real life. You should not be friends with the people who you're living, your entire wages are based around, your jobs are based around. If I were a coach in particular and I see my team and all of my star players yucking it up after we just lost by 20 points again to the Brooklyn Nets, I'm like, screw that. It's my job on the line. It's your job on the line and your legacy. You need to care about it. And that is the thing that is going to be the case throughout this entire show. That is going to happen whenever I am talking. I'm not here to have anybody be friends. I'm not here to have anybody have fun. I'm here to win. And if you're not winning, and that's it.
Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a one.